Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. And today's video, we will talk about the various or some influences, or let us say crucial, in some practices that came from our influencers or our colonizers. Okay, so the Philippines is known as the only one country who were colonized by different countries. We have, as we know, we have the pananakop ng Espanyol, pananakop ng Hapones, pananakop ng Amerikano. And they brought a lot of influences. One of that is our way of cooking, food, shelter, clothing, and so on. But let us now talk about some of the examples. So we have number one, the pagmamano. Okay, the pagmamano or bless. So we always bless to our grandparents or the people who are older than us. Okay, every time we arrive home, every time we see older people, especially at night, we should be we should bless every time or the moment we show them, no? We view them. Nakit natin sila. So we have to bless for that. That is one of the influences. Second is the rituals in um, death or vigil. No, we always have this kind of tradition. In some countries, like when I was in Japan, if you have someone who passed away, you will just go to the house or something. It's in Philippines, it's super clarina, and then they will just put it there. So your time visit is 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and after that they will put it back there. It's look like a cooler, a huge cooler where they put the dead body over there, and then they'll just put it back after the visiting time. That is the culture in Philippines that we have to spend 7 days in the house. We put in the coffin and then we spend 7 days in the house to show respect and to recall the memories what the person passed away remember in this world, how he good to us or what are his contribution, specifically if that person is having a position in our community or in our locality. We have the cockfighting. So cockfighting actually is originally from Philippines. When after Ferdinand Maximilian died in Cebu due to the Battle of Mactan with Lapu-Lapu, they went home, and then when they are traveling going back to Spain, they saw a people in island or somewhere part of Bohol that shouting and very happy of amusement. Amusement means kalingawan. And then when they stopped there, they saw that they are having a fighting of chickens. So everybody are very ecstatic those times. It's because it was just only the form of amusement they have. Or as of now, we call it gambling, I think. Okay. What is the contribution of Spanish in the cockfighting? What they introduce of that is they have payment, they have taxes, the taxes that once you are a loser, you will pay or you will give your money to the winner. Okay, and that is what they contribute. But during this time, cockfighting is not brought by Spanish. It's really originally from Philippines. That is what I know in my Philippine history. So after that, when they have an argument about those, taxes, that who will be the loser will give the money, or shall we say now in patad, you will give that money, you will give your patad to the winner. And as that practice from our ancient people up to the present. So, ganyan na siya. Up to now, na meron na tayong fighting na practice, no? But during this time, originally from Filipino, no money involved. It's just purely um, a fight lang siya, no? There is no payment during those time kasi wala pa namang pera noon yung mga Pilipino. Okay? Then second, oh no, no. And then I have here the list. um, then we have the wedding. In the wedding, during those time, during our ancient time, there's no wedding. They're just as long as both can agree each other. But there are some few. Okay, we cannot generalize. This context or this content is not generalized. Um, there are some few or people who, shall we say, live together once they have or once they agree, no? As long as magkasinabot lang sila, as long as uh, they can, they can go into decisions that they see that much better for them or for themselves, then that's a marriage. So they're just going to live in one house. They were just going to live in one party. So when the Spanish came, so doon na yun nagkaroon ng seremonya. When there is a ceremony that you will go to the church, because of course churches was built during the Spanish colonizations. Okay? Because our ninunos, our ancient people, or in the first people in the Philippines, was praised by land, water, sea, and so on. So when there is a Spanish, when the Philippines was colonized by Spanish, the churches was built, and then that's also the beginning of we're praising God, we're praising saints as they brought, and that is one of the influence in our during the Spanish colonization. Okay, let us go back in the wedding. In the wedding, you will go to the church, you will have your gown or whatsoever, then you will ask permission to God for abundance life. Okay, but for the goodness and in health and blah blah blah, I will love this person as husband and wife and so on. So that is the influence, one of the influence of our Spanish. Okay. And then wedding, oh no, no, festival. So with every festa have a festival because it is a celebration of birth, gatherings, harvest, death, fight, or success, or having a champion in the battle. Those things was also brought by Spanish, and then that is what we are also celebrating of as of now, or at this moment. We cannot say that we have a fiesta and we do not know the saints. It's very impossible. So as you are um, having a fiesta, you should know that this fiesta is for whom saint. Okay, for example, as known in Sinulog, we have Santo Niño de Cebu, and that is brought by Magellan. So every third week of the month of January, if every third week of January, we often have Sinulog Festival as the birth of Christianity, as the birth of, I think, Jesus Christ. Yes, we have different perception about Sinulog, so no judgment here. Okay, so we have the last is folk dance. It's one of the culture in Filipino that was brought by Spanish. But in Ifugao, they have their own folk dance before the Spanish arrived. So we have specific folk dances that that Spanish introduced the Philippines in the Philippines. Like for example, La Jota Moncadena, we have La Jota Maniana and Desposorio. Yes, because before the Spanish came here in Philippines, the Philippines have their own folk dances. So that is what they call, there is a Philippine folk dances and there is also a Spanish folk dances. Okay. So I I think that you've learned from my video for today, for this vlog, how I hope that you've learned about our uh, influences from different colonizers. Another thing, Solomon and University in Dumaguete City is one of the influence of our Americans. No, the Solomon was a huge. There, I do not know how many square meters the entire area of the Solomon University. It was quite big. That is one of the influence of the Americans because that was built by 1901. If I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong. That was built in 1901 with Ferdinand Silliman. I forget the name. I can still remember the family name because that's the name of the university. Silliman University. Another thing, some colleges in some provinces in the Philippines, there are also college there. There are also universities there was built by Americans. Clothing in Japan, we have the pancit. We have also um, mga abaka and everything that was influenced by mga Malaysian or mga Malay. They came into the Philippines riding a galleon or yung bangka. During also the Americans. Okay, so it is very important to know what are the history of the Philippines as well as the contributions of our colonizers. Even they have bad influence, even but still we have a good influence, and we are all that benefited. All the good influences they have or they brought in our country, we also benefited that. So stop criticizing our colonizers. It's because during our time we also benefited a lot of those things that we are still practicing up to this moment. Okay, so thank you so much and good afternoon.